None of this is shocking or surprising, but Iran's announcement that its sights are set on advanced flanker variants like the Su-30SM is another indication of how dire the unfolding geopolitical situation is in Southwest Asia and the Middle East, especially given the lackluster response by our own country to Iran's predictable yet emboldened saber rattling. All that cash which has been freed up by poor decision-making will end up paying for these jets, as well as other systems that will pose a formidable threat to anyone opposing Iran's objectives. Iran looks set to sign a deal to purchase Russian-made Sukhoi Su-30 flanker fighters as it upgrades its military forces following the nuclear deal, which cleared the way for sanctions to be lifted on Tehran. Iranian Defense Minister Brig. Gen. Hossein Degan is set to visit Moscow on February 16 to discuss the potential fighter buy, as well as to discuss deliveries of the Almaz anti-S-300 air and missile defense system. Minister Degan will also discuss the delivery of Su-30 airplanes because the Defense Ministry believes the Iranian Air Force needs this type of plane. We've moved far in these discussions of purchases, and I think that during the upcoming visit a contract will be signed, an Iranian Defense Ministry source told the Russian state-run media outlet Sputnik. Earlier, the Iranian Mehr news agency had quoted Degan, who appeared on Iranian state TV, saying that Tehran needs to focus on modernizing its air force. To that end, Degan specifically cited the Su-30, but he did not indicate which version of Russian-built jet Tehran is interested in. Today we need to pay attention to Air Force and aircraft, and we seek to seal a deal with the Russians upon which we will have partnership in the construction and manufacturing of the jet fighter, Degan said. Presumably Iran would want one of the advanced variants similar to the aircraft operated by India, Malaysia, Algeria, and Russia itself. However, it is also possible that Iran could opt for a variant of the more basic Su-30M2, which is also in service with the Russian Air Force. That variant is somewhat less expensive, which might make more sense considering Iran's economic situation. Perhaps of note, Iran does not seem content with merely buying the Su-30. Tehran seems intent on license production of the aircraft. The Su-30M2 variant, which is built in Komsomolsk-on-Amur in Russia's Far East, is missing the Su-30 SMS canards and thrust vectoring nozzles. It also has a less comprehensive avionics suite. Either way, the addition of any Su-30 variant would greatly increase the capabilities of the Iranian Air Force, which is mostly equipped with an antiquated mix of American, Russian and Chinese-built hardware. Su-30 MKK shares compatibility with Su-35 in terms of hardware, but in terms of software, Su-30 MKK differs from Su-35, Flanker E, on a much greater scale in comparison to Indian Su-30 MKI because of different mission requirements by China. The Flanker family aircraft has the problem of the reduction of maximum G-force level being decreased to 7 grams from the 9 grams at speed between Mach 0.7 to Mach 0.9, and this problem was completely solved on Su-30 MKK by adopting new measures. According to the Sukhoi Design Bureau, Su-30 MKK is the first of the Flanker family to achieve it after Su-35-37, Flanker EF, and Sukhoi Su-30 MKI. Higher percentage of composite material is used for Su-30 MKK in comparison to the original Su-30 MK. In addition, new aluminum alloy were used to replace the old type used on Su-30 MK for weight reduction. The twin rudders, mainly made of carbon fiber composite material, were larger on Su-30 MKK in comparison to that of the original Su-30 MK, but contrary to what was once erroneously claimed by some Western sources, Sukhoi Design Bureau revealed later that the increased space in the rudders were used for additional fuel tanks instead of larger communication UHF antenna. The capacity of the fuel tanks in the wings is also increased. A twin-nose landing gear of size 620mm x 180mm has replaced the single-nose landing gear of size 680mm x 260mm used on Su-30 MK to accommodate the increased weight. The maximum takeoff weight and weapon load are increased to 38 tons and 12 tons respectively, but this extreme limit is often avoided by taking off at lighter weight. It was rumored that the Chinese pilots were not as experienced as Russian test pilots when operating at this extreme limits, which contributed to the crashes at least partially. The original K-36 ejection seat on Su-30MK is replaced by K-36M ejection seat for Su-30MKK.